Hi, I'm Cindy and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be celebrating the Spring Equinox, also known as Ostara. We'll be taking a celebratory nature walk, harvesting wildflowers, and creating our spring altar today. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm walking here under this poor downed tree, down a trail called the Blue Shale Trail. And the wildflowers are abundant today. It's very important to me to get out and connect with nature, especially on special days like the equinoxes and solstices. Aren't they just beautiful? And they are everywhere. So we're going to be able to harvest some of these to bring back for our altar today. I love to be able to gather items from nature for my altars whenever possible. I just feel like it makes me more spiritually connected to them. I found some spiderwort. This is the first one I've seen this year. Look how beautiful these are. These usually grow around my apartment complex, but I haven't seen any yet. This is the first one. During the spring equinox, the length of day and night is equal. It's a very magical time. A very lovely time to be out in nature. The weather is really lovely here in Hot Springs this time of year, and today is especially cool. Up ahead, I'm gonna cross over a little creek. So there's no bridge here. It's not a very large creek. So we're just gonna step over it. While I'm here, I like to try to connect with all four of the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Fire's a little tricky. Of course, I'm not gonna start a fire out in the middle of the forest, but I use the sun as my connection to fire. Early spring is really a time of rebirth, renewal, transformation. All the flowers and trees that lay dormant over the winter are starting to bloom and flower and leaf. And it's really speaking to my soul right now because I am also coming out of a time of darkness, starting to find my way into the light and starting to bloom again. This spring is going to be a really special time for me in my life. A really transformative time. And it's lovely to get out into the forest that I love and really be able to enjoy nature. I like to take celebratory ritual walks on these special days like this, and I make the walk itself a ritual where I commune with nature. I like to stop, I'll touch the trees, try to feel their energies, feel the energy of the plants around me, get to know the plants in my area, connect with the sun, connect with the water, with the earth beneath my feet, really try to remain mindful while I walk, feel all the sensations around me, connect with the wind as it blows, and just make it a really spiritual, joyful journey. I'm not going to harvest any wildflowers until we're on the way back because I don't want to carry them around with me for an hour, but on our way back I'm going to harvest wildflowers to take home and make part of our altar. I stopped for a brief moment here, but now I'm going to continue on my walk. I was just walking along the trail and this beautiful stone caught my eye. It's a crystal. It's a very cloudy one. But isn't that beautiful? I'm not going to take it. I'm going to leave it here, but I just wanted to share it with you. These are the kind of things that you can find out here. Look, it's a little fairy house. In this moss on the side of the trail, I found a little fairy hole. I wouldn't stick my hand in there though, probably an animal in there. One of the traditional pastimes of Ostara, at least in witchcraft and paganism, is to go out on the day of the spring equinox and harvest wildflowers and bring them home and try to identify them if you don't know what they are. So I'm going to be identifying some of these that I don't know what they are today. Right now I just stopped for a little water break. Always make sure if you go hiking in the woods to bring plenty of water with you, even if you don't think you'll be gone for long. You don't want to be stuck out here with no water. So I just fill up a plastic bottle that I had laying around my house with spring water from the hot springs. But this has been a very enjoyable day for me. I'm having a great time out here in the woods, just being in my element, man. Nature really does cleanse the soul. Right now I'm working on a lot of personal growth, self-love type of stuff in my life. Particularly detachment, and this is helping me a lot. Getting back to my spirituality, I really think is saving me. Coming to a crossroads here in the trail, very symbolic of my life right now. Which way shall I go? To the left or to the right? Should we take Trash Zamboni? Oh my god, I still can't believe that's the name of that trail. Trash Zamboni. Nope, I think I'm not going to follow the trash. I think we're going to go this way. We're going to take our own path. We're going to blaze our own trail. Actually, we're not. We're going to take the trail that's already well established, but you get the point. Opposite way of the trash. So I think I'm going to head back towards the start of the trail and harvest some wildflowers there. Hopefully there aren't too many people around so I can film it. I'm going to be getting some wildflowers for the altar. I want to get a couple different kinds if I can. I brought my herb knife, so I use the traditional white-handled herb knife that's been cleansed and purified to harvest any of my plants for magical or ritual purposes. And then so I always like to leave a little offering to the nature spirits for allowing me to harvest. And so I'll usually leave a bit of quartz crystal, a coin, whatever I might have that I think would be a worthy offering. You can also use water, and that's actually what I think I'm going to use today is some spring water as my offering. And another thing, make sure if you harvest in the wild, don't ever take all of everything. Don't ever decimate the entire local population of a plant. Make sure you only take just what you need and never take too much. Well, I was able to harvest some very beautiful wildflowers there, and now I'm about to go give my offering to the forest spirits and Mother Earth, and then I've got to get these home before they wilt too badly because they are very delicate. Okay, I'm back at home, and I did get my wildflowers put into a vase. Look how pretty they look. I love them. And now we're going to get ready to create our spring altar. So for my altar, I just use a little end table that I already owned in my house. You can use anything. You can use a cardboard box to make an altar if you need to. Any flat surface that you have will work. And I have some things down here that I've gathered from my various supplies that I'm going to be using on my spring altar. And this is only the beginning. I will add to this over the season as I collect more flowers, more decorations, find different stones, whatever I feel like adding to my altar that I feel like really celebrates this season of spring. The spring equinox is the first true day of spring, and nature's energies are shifting from like the sluggishness of winter to the abundance and growth of spring. So as I talked about earlier, some themes of Ostara include, fertility, rebirth, renewal, abundance, the blooming of nature. Light is starting to overtake darkness. The day and night is equal today, but going forward, the days will be slightly longer until we get to the longest day of the year, which is midsummer. It's a time of beginnings, of taking action, starting new things, doing spells for future gain, and also working on your magical gardens, which is something I've already started to do. I also find find this is a really good time of year to do like spring cleaning, which I've done in my apartment, and also doing like a new house blessing, which is something I'm going to be doing in a future vlog. But so themes for your altar can be things like eggs, animals like chicks and rabbit. Think the Christian holiday of Easter. That kind of symbolism is what we bring to Ostara. Wildflowers, pastel colors, eggs, bunnies, all that kind of thing. I'm going with more natural altar, so we're going to be focusing mostly on flowers, maybe some stones, and then I may find some more like fertility related things such as eggs going forward. I'm not sure, but today we're just going to start with the things that I already have on hand, plus the wildflowers that we harvested earlier. I'm going to start by adding a cloth to my altar, which is also not necessary. You don't have to have an altar cloth. But I did find this beautiful one that I had already on hand. This was a gift to me by a subscriber, and it's actually supposed to be a scarf, I believe, but it fits perfectly on my altar table, and it's beautiful. I think these are cherry blossoms. So let's put that on the altar first. I'm just gonna put this over and try to kind of center this a bit if I can. All right, try to get it kind of even on the table. All right, that looks nice. Some of the other things that I found in my supplies that I think will work well for this altar is I'm going to use a pink chime candle. I want to get a pink pillar candle to use, but right now this is the only pink candle I have, so I'm going to be using it. And you can use any color that appeals to you or feels right for spring. I'm kind of going with a pink theme to match my cherry blossom altar cloth here, but I'll also add other pastels and things as time goes on. For my salt dish, I have this lovely little Japanese dish that also has cherry blossoms on it. I'm trying to show you, but the salt's getting in the way. It's got cherry blossoms on it. So I'm going to use this as my little salt dish on my altar. I have some artificial flowers. These actually came in a journal that a subscriber gave me, and I thought they were very pretty to go on my altar. I wouldn't use only artificial flowers, but you can always add some artificial flowers just for decoration. They're not going to have the same energy as if you were to use real flowers, but they're nice for decor. I also have this huge chunk of raw rose quartz that I think would look really nice on the altar. Rose quartz is a favorite stone of mine, and some of its properties include happiness, peace, friendship, love. So I'm working on self-love in my life right now, so I thought this would be an appropriate stone, and also it matches everything else. I also have some rose petals that I am going to sprinkle around on my altar. Some dried rose petals. Another traditional practice for Ostara is to sprinkle wildflowers around on your altar and around on the floor around it. I'm not gonna go that far, but I am gonna use some dried rose petals that I have. And then I have my regular altar tools, and also I'm gonna move my goddess statue onto the altar now from my bookshelf altar onto my main altar, because I feel like this is a great representation of the fertility of the earth right now. So anything that you have, you can use Easter eggs, you can use little figurines of bunnies and chicks, anything that you have that you feel represents this early springtime period, add to your altar. All right, so now I'm gonna set it up. So here's how my altar looks right now. It's pretty basic. I have the rose petals, the rose quartz, which I want to kind of move back there. I don't know where. The rose quartz. I have my candle, my pentacle, my incense holder here, which this is a very large and unwieldy incense holder, but it's the only extra one I really have right now. And then I've got my goddess, my flowers, and my cauldron back here. So there's one more thing I want to do today, and that's to fill the cauldron with spring water and some more wildflowers. So I'm actually going to go outside and harvest a few wildflowers from right outside my apartment to float in the cauldron. That's another traditional altar decoration for this holiday, is to put spring water or some kind of seawater or some kind of natural water into your cauldron and to float wildflowers in it. Over on the side of my apartment building, I found these lovely dandelion flowers, and I think they'd be perfect to put into the cauldron, and they really are a representation of early spring, at least in my area. So I'm gonna harvest some of these. Back inside, I have filled my cauldron with spring water. I am lucky enough to live in an area where we have natural spring water available to us for free. It is the best water in the world. I drink it, I give it to my dogs, I use it for magical purposes. But if you don't have access to spring water, you can use seawater, water from a stream or creek nearby, or if all else fails, just use spring water you buy in the store or distilled water. And then I'm gonna add our dandelions that I harvested outside, and we're gonna float them in the cauldron. How beautiful. So now my spring altar is complete for the moment. And if you're wondering what I do with the altar, this is where I do my meditations, my grounding. I'll do offerings here. Any kind of magical work that I'm gonna do, I'll do here, except for my tarot readings. I do those at my desk. But I will burn incense here and burn my candle here when I'm doing my grounding and meditation. And I'll do offerings to the god and goddess here. I'll pray here, anything like that. This is where I do it. And throughout the season, I'll be changing out my wildflowers in my vase and in my cauldron. And I'm just gonna make that a regular practice for me throughout the spring season. So let's go ahead and burn some incense on my altar. We're just gonna kind of consecrate it here. The incense of the day is cinnamon, so I'm burning cinnamon incense here. Find incense and color of the day in the Magical Almanac, which I use, and I will link to in the description down below. I am planning on doing a thrift store trip very soon, which I'm gonna vlog, in which I'll be looking for witchy things, and maybe I'll be able to find a few things that we can add to our spring altar then as well. My Christmas cactus here is about to bloom, as you can see, so I will probably also, once the flowers fall off, I will harvest those and put them on the altar. If you have any flowering houseplants this time of year and the flowers fall off, you can dry them and keep them for spells or charms, or just put them on your spring altar. Today has been such a lovely, healing day for me. It was really enjoyable. I spent about 2 hours out in the forest today, and it was just it always soothes my soul to be out in nature. And sometimes when you're going through a hard time, it's kind of difficult to make yourself get up and go. But I've been doing much better recently, so I do plan to spend a lot more time in nature than I had before. And today's been a wonderful reminder for me that we can all transform, we can all change, we can all become the person that we really want to be. We can all emerge like a fucking butterfly out of a cocoon. And it might sound cliche, but it's really true. The past year of my life has been incredibly difficult, but over the past few weeks, the fog of darkness has started to lift. And along with the spring, I am emerging out into the light too. My focus now is on myself, my hobbies, my passions, my self-love and self-worth, and my self-concept is another thing that I'm working on very, very hard. And I've also managed to detach from my previous situation, and it wasn't easy, but I feel such a relief. I no longer feel the anxiety, the fear, the sadness. I mean, there's still a little bit of sadness, I think there always will be around the situation, but I don't feel the same anymore. I feel happy. I'm starting to feel joy again. I'm starting to feel like my true self again. And it's a wonderful feeling. I know for a fact that I will create a joyful and fulfilling life for myself. And I wish you the same if you're going through something similar, and just know that you can do it. You really can. I hope you guys have had a wonderful spring equinox, and I hope you're having a wonderful spring so far. And also leave me a comment down below and let me know what are some ways that you honor the spring season. Whether you're pagan or not, I know I have viewers of all different walks of life. So yeah, leave a comment down below and just let me know what are the ways that you honor the spring season or you relate to the spring season. I'd love to hear your ideas. Thanks so much for watching, and also I will be doing my members only live stream today on the day that this vlog is published. I don't know if it'll be before or after the stream, but make sure you click down below and join to become a member if you want to join my members only live streams. And don't worry if you can't join them. I do usually make them available to the public unless we talked about some very sensitive topics, and then sometimes I keep them members only, but I do try to share most of them publicly for everyone. But if you want to come and chat with me one-on-one, click the link down below, and don't forget to follow me on social media too. I've been posting a lot on Instagram lately, and I'm going to be getting back to my Facebook posting as well. You can find all the links to find me on social media down below in the description box. I just want to say thank you to my members specifically. You guys are awesome and your support means so much to me. And also thank you to everybody who watches my vlogs. I appreciate each and every one of you. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. I've got more witchy content, more spiritual content, more self-improvement, BPD recovery stuff coming up for you. Again, my name is Cindy, and I'll see you with a new vlog very soon. Bye!